Hey, big news right now with Bitcoin. The hash ribbons are flashing a buy signal. That has not happened in a while. I want to go ahead and talk about that as well as what's going on with the market as I'm here traveling, but that doesn't matter. I wanted to give a market update. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do that. Go ahead and click that white button, subscribe. I'm going to give more updates each and every day, especially when I get back from traveling here in a few days. So just understand that's why you see I'm outside here with the sun blaring in my face. Not the best overall visual. I just woke up as well. So if I look a little tired, that's just because I haven't had my coffee yet. So, hey, let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. The good news is that price is up for both stocks, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, everything in general. That's because, as we talked about last week, there was a somewhat of a pivot from Chairman Powell and the Fed and talk about quantitative tightening and to ease up on that and to potentially switch to QE. So overall, that's great for risk on assets. We've also saw some postponing in the sector tariffs set for April 2nd. So that's a big win for global trade. And again, we know that with tariffs, that's an inflation response. And if we can actually postpone those or scale back on those as win, that's also a win for markets. The Fed rate cuts, by the way, again, we've seen that the odds have fell for their May rate cut fell below 10%. I just read that in the news over the past day. Not that matters because all along we've predicted that rate cuts will likely happen in June. What that means for you is that risk assets, Bitcoin, stocks are likely to go up before that. So just be aware that you want to be early. And good news as well is that we've seen the ETF flows for Bitcoin actually finally see an increase again. That's massive because for the longest time, we've had a big outflow with the ETFs. Okay, so that's a positive as far as what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, the funny thing is, though, as far as the flows with the ETFs, we actually saw $0 for Ethereum yesterday. So it shows you where people want to buy, what these funds are buying, and it's clearly Bitcoin over Ethereum. So as I continue to say, what should you rather be in as far as a long-term investment? That always goes back to Bitcoin. We will see Ethereum start to bump up eventually, outperform Bitcoin a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second, but just understand there's a lot of bullish catalysts with Bitcoin going on right now, including different bills from states. We've seen that the state of Kentucky actually talked about mining and staking, how those are no longer considered securities in the state, which of course they never were anyway with the federal government. And we've also seen with the Oklahoma coin bill that they actually passed a bill that the Treasury can hold up to 5% of funds in Bitcoin. So again, a signal of growing institutional and even governmental interest in Bitcoin. These are all positive things going on right now in the news. So wild rumors as well that the US may buy back Bitcoin previously sold from the previous administration from the Silk Road seizures. So again, that's just a rumor. It's not necessarily true, but it would be a bullish catalyst for Bitcoin if that does happen. Now, the big thing right now is if you were to look up anything about buy signals, you're probably going to see Bitcoin hash ribbon, okay? So the Bitcoin hash ribbon really has to deal with miner capitulation, meaning miners that stop mining, they give up because it's no longer profitable. And many times that tends to be a bullish catalyst or a signal to a bottom for Bitcoin. So we've seen that the miner behavior, the 30-day and 60-day moving averages of the Bitcoin hash rate. And when the 30-day moving average drops below and climbs above the 30-day, that's a buy signal. So we've started to see that as far as the miner capitulation right now. That has not happened in over 8 months. So that's the first buy signal from the Bitcoin hash ribbon indicator in over the past 8 months. So again, that tends to precede bull runs in bullish market environments. So that is a huge indicator right now that we're looking at for Bitcoin. And my strategy, again, It hasn't changed. This doesn't mean whenever you see this hash signal, the Bitcoin hash ribbon buy signal, it doesn't mean that it's going to instantly pump. It takes time. So just understand that, but it is a good thing overall. So with the Bitcoin hash ribbon, with the Federal Reserve also potentially switching from QT to QE, with the scale back of tariffs, with the ETF inflow, man, these are all super positive things right now going on with Bitcoin in the crypto market. So if you've not yet accumulated, if you're thinking about doing it, just understand there's a lot of good signs right now for Bitcoin in the market. So now, as far as other things, as far as Ethereum, we did see short term that Ethereum was outperforming Bitcoin. But if you go and look at the ETH BTC chart that I've talked about so many times that compares the value of ETH to Bitcoin, you're going to see again that it's just going sideways and that Bitcoin continues to outperform Ethereum. Now, one of the altcoins, if you're looking to buy, that's performed really well and it continues to hit a new local high on the day. Local high meaning that it's starting to, over the past month, it's at its highest point. And so on the 4-hour chart looks pretty good, and that is for Solana. So if you are looking at any altcoin specifically of the majors in the top 10 that are performing well outside of Bitcoin, just understand that Solana is probably going to be a better choice over Ethereum if you're looking to trade or buy anything in the short to mid turn for altcoins. Now, as far as altcoins in general, there's a lot going on. There are certainly outliers right now that are outperforming Bitcoin and other things. There are so many altcoins out there, but especially as I travel, I look specifically at the major assets, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, the top 10, top 20 max. But in general, Solana is doing really well. Bitcoin, going back to that, as we haven't really talked about Bitcoin at the moment, as it's stuck at around $88,000. But again, hitting a low of $76,000, bouncing, going sideways between 80 to 85 for days to weeks. And now we did hit a high of around $89,000 in the last couple of days. And price pulled back to around 85 and moving up slowly. The good news is that we're above the 200-day moving averages on Bitcoin. And the next key level, as I've said before, is going to be around $92,000 to $93,000. If price can get back above those levels, understand that is a huge opportunity as far as getting back into the prior range. And for me, being a pretty clear indicator that the market is in a clear uptrend and it's a buy signal. So if people are looking to wait, then potentially 92 to 93K could be a great opportunity for people to get in. And if not, I mean, it's $87,000, $88,000 right now. Just make sure to look at the market. Of course, as we know, anything can pop up about tariffs. Anything can pop up from the Fed. Anything can pop up about any global panic potentially that could shake the markets and to be volatile. But if you're looking for mid to long term, now's a great time for Bitcoin. So just with that said, know that there's a lot of good things going on with Bitcoin right now. Again, with the hash ribbons, I'm seeing a lot of signs that positivity is slowly starting to reverse a little bit back from all that negativity that we've had recently, and really a lot of gloom and doom talk, which to me, whenever you see that, that tends to be a perfect bottom signal. Hey, with that said, I'll try to give some more updates this week as I'm traveling here when I can. Market never closes with Bitcoin and crypto. Again, a great time and opportunity under $90,000. If we can get back above 92, 93K, then it's Yahtzee time, right? It's game on. Let's get it. As far as it goes, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have some more videos out soon for you. Again, you guys trade safe. Good to see you again, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.